Man, that's a new song, and I'm pretty excited about that one. That was good. We actually, ironically enough, we had some copyright issues with the last one. I thought it was free license, but it was not. This one is though. So as long as we give a shout out to the artist, which we'll be sure to do at the end, you can see their name and the name of the song in the lower left-hand corner when you see our stream starting and ending here in the future. So friends, welcome. Hello, my name is Adam. Welcome back to the Wisconsin Veterans Chamber of Commerce weekly office hours live, where we bring relevant content and information to all of you here in the veteran, military family, and veteran friendly and veteran ready business community. This is an Ask Me Anything style format. So as a reminder for those of you that are new to us and the things that we do and we chat about, this is open forum. So if you want to ask us about or ask our guests, who I'm going to introduce here in a second, if you want to ask us about anything, things that are happening in the veteran community in Wisconsin, things that the Wisconsin Veterans Chamber is doing. If you want to talk about the Green Bay Packers, well, let's not talk about the Green Bay Packers. I'm sad. If you want to talk about anything at all, you just throw it there in the handy chat bar, whether you're watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitch. I will get your comments, so please throw them my way, and we'll be sure to, I'll moderate. We'll put them up there on the screen. We want to hear from you, so please don't be bashful. Feel free to be sure to subscribe to us. I'm going to drop a Linktree link in the comments. I'll probably do it at some point when our guests are chatting here, for you to click and see the various social platforms that we're on. We wear a different hat on a lot of our different platforms, so bring a little bit of different value from each channel. So please be sure to follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. I mean, we're there bringing the value every single day and trying to support the veteran military family and military friendly business community. So I will definitely share those links here in a bit, but instead of talking about them, I'm gonna move forward to introducing our very special guests who are from the State Bar Association of Wisconsin. We have Jeff Brown and Patricia Lane. Today we are going to be chatting about, I'm going to bring them up on the screen here in a second. We're going to be chatting about legal resources for our veteran military community, military family community, as well as an upcoming program that I believe is a pro bono resource, but I'm going to let them talk about that. Let me add them to the stream, Jeff and Patricia. You go by Trisha, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay, Jeff and Trisha, welcome. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, welcome. Great to be here.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. This is our weekly office hours. This is our first office hours in which I have these new LED lights here in the background that I'm very excited about. I can change the colors. Look at that. It's amazing. But I'm feeling blue today, so I'm going to go back to that. Anyways, sorry, totally random. So let's start with Jeff. Tell us give us the cliff notes on who you are and what you do and with whom.
Okay, sure. I am Jeff Brown, and I'm the pro bono program manager at the State Bar of Wisconsin. So I oversee our different pro bono programs within the Bar Association and our access to justice efforts.
Outstanding. Very, very good. And Trisha, what about you?
Hi, I'm Trish Lane, and I'm a partner at Foley and Lardner, a Milwaukee-based law firm in Wisconsin. And I'm on the board of directors of the business law section of the State Bar, and have been working closely with the bar on this exciting pro bono program.
So that's a really, really good. We actually didn't plan that segue in advance, but it's perfect. Tell us about this program, because it sounds like something that could be very beneficial to our constituency, to our members and followers and whatnot. So give us the rundown.
So do you want me to take that, Jeff?
Yes, you go ahead and do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Best.
Okay. So the bar, in conjunction with Marquette University Law School, has developed a program to assist small business owners with their legal questions. So
Mm,
these are business questions, so not litigation and not intellectual property, so not suing anybody and not dealing with trademarks, patents, copyrights, and so forth, but we are offering free legal services for small business owners on business topics. So that could be tax, finance, real estate, questions on contracts, labor
mm.
and employment, anything related to the governmental assistance programs that are available, whether it's PPP or otherwise. We are here to help. And so what we're offering is 1 hour segments. And if we find that we are not able to answer the questions or direct our clients to the right path in 1 hour, we will offer supplemental services. We'll try to direct them to another attorney, or the attorney may be willing to stay on. But we are offering these pro bono services, and so what we're trying to do is help these small business owners so that they can direct their attentions to, more productive things rather than answering, do I need to have a sign, requiring that, saying that my customers need masks? I mean, we get a lot of questions like that. I mean, if there's questions like that, if you're concerned about whether you have business interruption insurance, that might apply. If there's force majeure language in a contract, you're wondering whether you can use that. If you've got some labor issues with folks not being able to work or not wanting to work, we've got you covered, and it's free. So we're trying to do our part to help small businesses in Wisconsin.
So I think I'm interested in that. You mentioned PPP. Is that what you're getting a majority of your questions on in this program, or kind of overarchingly, you find you're getting a lot of interest in that and a lot of questions? Are people confused about it? And if so, like what questions, especially about PPP, because a lot of our business owners are in that world right now. What sort of questions do you get often?
I would say the most frequent questions that we get surround business interruption insurance and whether that would apply in a situation like this where there was closures and things like that. We've also gotten quite a lot of questions surrounding loans and whether there are excuses to performance of various contracts because people haven't been able to operate. And so a lot of contract claims. Now, you guys are at the forefront of this because our first session was this last Friday. So,
Excellent. Okay.
so yes, so you haven't missed anything. And
Nice.
yeah, exactly. So you're at the cutting edge. But so what we have seen are a lot of questions related to predominantly labor, insurance, and contract interpretations around those three. We've also seen a lot of questions related to, am I eligible for this government program? I don't know if I am. And then if I am eligible, do I want the money? Because it does come with some things that you can and can't do. And, maybe you want some advice about those things. So that's kind of the nature of the questions that we've seen so far.
Very interesting. Now, a lot of our viewers are not just veteran business owners, but business owners in general. Veteran-friendly businesses. That we serve the entire overarching Wisconsin business community, right? Which includes veteran-owned and non-veteran-owned, and everybody in between. We try to bridge the gap there. So a lot of our viewers are going to be non-veteran business owners, or maybe veteran employees, or HR managers even that try to hire and acquire veterans or whatever. Beyond this program, what issues are you seeing in the Wisconsin business community? What issues are you seeing that are areas of concern, perhaps as a result of the pandemic, trends that you're seeing and things that you're addressing, problems, maybe issues that you're running into that you think could be mitigated by educating some people out there about them?
Well, I'm in private practice, and so I see a lot of companies that are concerned about liquidity and whether they're going to have adequate credit lines to support their businesses and their operations because the cash flow has been interrupted.
Right.
And so, you need to have money coming from somewhere. And so what they're doing, a lot of these larger businesses especially are going out and getting backup liquidity lines from banks just to make sure that they've got the cash flow. Maybe they don't need it. A lot of them don't need it. They don't draw on it, but it's a good insurance policy so that you don't get caught when you actually do need it and then you don't have it available. And usually the banks just charge some upfront fees for that, some commitment fees. And, companies are viewing that as an insurance policy. So we're seeing a lot of concern around, do I have adequate liquidity to weather the storm?
Very interesting.
You could also have issues with, your commercial leasing, is that, you've got rent due at a certain rate under a commercial lease that's going to run for a couple of more years, but you have little to no income coming in. And so, there have been some issues that have popped up with businesses here related to that. And I imagine that would affect a lot of veteran-friendly businesses too. Some of the other pro bono programs that I work with, we have a Wisconsin free legal answers service, and we've had some questions there from small landlords who have questions about how to deal with tenant issues. And then there are, we see a lot of questions coming from employees asking about workplace safety, especially early during the pandemic. And I imagine a lot of employers still have those questions too.
Absolutely. And so is that where you're seeing a lot of the gaps? For example, if a average citizen is granted rent relief, that's good for the citizen that doesn't have the income. However, the landlord is then left in the lurch. If somebody has leniency for commercial leases, for example, if they have a fleet of vehicles, that leniency is good, but there's somebody on the opposite end that is not getting that revenue. What closes that gap, or is the gap still there?
Well, a couple of things. One might be, an option might be a PPP loan, depending on the type of business. But one of the things that landlords are learning to do is how to access some of the eviction prevention funding. So that funding often does not go directly to the tenant; it goes directly to the landlord. So that having legal advice about whether you're eligible for that and how you access it would be just the sort of thing that the Small Business Assistance Project would be able to help with.
Do you find that a lot of the people that you come to with questions are even aware in the first place that programs like the eviction protection for landlords, that are they surprised to learn that those things even exist?
I don't know. I don't know about you, Trish, from your standpoint. My guess is that people think of the eviction prevention money as money that goes to tenants, but it's actually money that goes to landlords. So
interesting.
I imagine that there is a lot of confusion about that.
How about that? Do you have anything to add to that, Tricia?
No, I agree. I think some of it is that folks just don't understand what the rules are, and they may be eligible even though they think that they're not. So we had one question arise about somebody saying that they're not eligible because they're a new business. And when you dug into the facts, you found that no, they really weren't a new business. They had been in partnership with somebody and they bought the partner out, but they were a continuation of a business, and they felt they were a new business because they became the sole owner. But they had been an owner previously of the same business. They just bought out more and they didn't realize that they would be eligible for this. So it's things like that where we think we can point them perhaps to government resources that might be available, or private funds, or else just to address questions like workplace safety questions. What do I need to do? Do I need hand sanitizers out? Do I need mask signs? How many mask signs? What if I don't have any? What if my customers come in and refuse to wear a mask? I mean, we get all kinds of questions like that.
Are they a lot of sweeping policy questions, or you find that you get very specific situational, like what do I do if X happens, or what do I do if X happened?
I've been getting very specific questions.
Okay.
Like nothing's been really hypothetical, but it's all been, or it's more of a worry type thing. Like what happens if, what if, when we had the civil unrest, for example, I had, as a private lawyer, I was getting a lot of questions like, can you look at my business interruption policy? Can you make sure that I've got coverage for this sort of thing? And what do I need to do to make sure that I get paid if my business is damaged? So some proactive things that are just kind of like people nervous, kind of worried about the future. But recently it's been mostly specific things COVID related.
Right. So mostly COVID related questions. It's in the veteran community, we find that there's actually an abundance of resources for people that are in need of support, whether it be for employment, business ownership, preparation, training, emergency support, you name it. For basically any situation, there's at least a state or national level organization that supports that endeavor, whether it be one of the legacy veteran serving organizations like VFW, DAV, so things that have been around for decades and centuries. But I think what we run into a lot is our big issue isn't having enough resources. It's having the bandwidth to educate folks about the resources that are available to them. And it sounds like you're running into a lot of similarities when it comes to legal advice for business owners. Is that accurate?
Oh, very accurate. And Jeff, you can jump in, but the concern that we have is we've had an overwhelming response from lawyers wanting to participate in this program because, as the public may or may not know, many pro bono opportunities are directed to litigation, and there aren't that many for business lawyers. So there's been a lot of untapped sort of demand here for lawyers to participate in this sort of thing because they feel like they want to give back and they really didn't have a venue to give back. And so got a lot of lawyers who want to volunteer. But the concern that we had, and that's why we're so grateful that you've invited us, is that we aren't sure that the word is getting out that this is in fact available. And so it's a new program. And so we're really grateful that you've allowed us to join your show so that we could publicize this and get the word out that we're here, and that kind of leads to another point, is that we're here for the long run. I mean, this is not just a COVID thing and we're gonna go away and close up shop when COVID does, but we're gonna be here into the future. So, we'll be a resource for small businesses going forward.
So really what you're looking for here, if I'm hearing you right, is not only to spread the word to people in the legal profession that there are opportunities for them to serve and give back through this program, but also mainly to get the word out to business owners to let them know that that these pro bono legal services, non-litigation, non-IP related, are available to them. Is that about right?
That's exactly right.
That's right. Bart, it's one thing to tell people about a new volunteer program that's available to help them with, say, an eviction or a family law matter.
Right.
But you can think of the social services agencies that you would go to sort of publicize something like that. But we needed to think a little differently about publicizing this resource. We knew we had the volunteer interest. That was really clear when Trish asked her colleagues. They were eager to go. So
you have an abundance of volunteers. Then that's not an issue,
right? We need to make sure that we have a pipeline of folks who need help and understand, that this is for business related issues. And just to circle back to your previous point or question about counseling and education, that really is a large part of what lawyers do. Whether you're a business lawyer or a litigator, a lot of what you do is counseling clients about their options and resources that are available. So we use our training to try to connect you with the right, whether it's a legal theory or a financing option or the proper statute or regulation that will answer your question about what your rights are or what your obligations are as an employer, a manufacturer, a small business owner.
So where did this program come from then? Where was this? Who came up with this idea, and how long did it take, or what hurdles did you run into in putting the pieces together to provide this great service for people?
I think Trish, I would describe as the mother of this program.
Yeah.
Yeah, we came up with it in the state bar, the business law section, and we were very concerned kind of about what we were seeing in the business community when we were seeing businesses that had been around, family businesses for generations that were folding, and very concerned that we were not doing enough to support these businesses, because it's so vital for the community and for the community fabric to have them, and we wanted to be there for them so that if there's some resource that they don't know about that would just make the difference between them being in business and them closing, that at least if they can't make it, it wouldn't be because they didn't know or there was some lack of information. And so what we wanted to do is make sure we were there for them. And some of the other things that we had seen is, I would go into health clubs and and people know that you're a lawyer, and the owners can immediately come in with contracts. Can you look at this? Can you and I just thought, well, I mean, this is like not a good way to do business. I mean, we really need to we really need to get a resource there so that they can call and they don't have to feel as though they're going to either spend a fortune to get an answer to their question or waylay customers.
Right on. Well, that's so cool that you saw the need there for our business owners and filled it, and it sounds like it's a program born from necessity, due to, I think, a lot of COVID related things that sounds like it's going to endure into the future here, and we're going to do everything we can to spread the word for you about it, because I think it's a great service, and I think a lot of our business owners, a lot of our veteran business owners, especially veteran business owners that may be seeking out entrepreneurship or diving into it, may have gaps in their knowledge or experience about resources that are available to them. I think this is going to be super valuable. So do you have any other things, any other thoughts that and I'll let each of you dive in here, but anything you want to add about this program, or anything that you want to add about its tenets or the people that it serves, anything that we didn't go over?
Well, one thing I want to make sure is that folks know how to access it. So to find out information about it and get on the calendar to schedule an appointment, we have an online scheduling system set up for this. So to
give me
find
the
out
link
more
and I'll put it in the comments.
Absolutely. So it's wisbar.org, WISBAR.org/small business. So that's
easy enough.
Yes. We've got a nice short link.
Let's see. Copy. Okay, I'm going to put that in there. So let's see, for pro bono legal resources, I can't spell, in Wisconsin. Boop, there we go. And I'm putting that in LinkedIn now. And before I turn over, well, I think I'm putting it in LinkedIn now, at least. Yeah, there we go. Before I turn over to Tricia for her parting thoughts, as well, I'm going to remind everybody, please, we still have a couple minutes here, so throw in your questions and we'll be sure to answer them. Let's not get into the specific what happens if blah 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 blah, because I'm sure we had that on our benefits chat last week and the week before. People, very specific. Well, what happens if if you have what if questions, go to that wisbar.org/small business, and I'll scroll it. I'll scroll it in a banner on the bottom. Golly, I just love this software. Boom. Look at that, scrolling along the bottom.
That was fast.
Great.
I would encourage you to go to this website, sign up for a time, and get questions answered. If you have questions about whether or not your questions are valid questions, this is a place to go. This is a good resource for you. So let me turn it over to you here. Do you have any added information or parting thoughts, anything that you want to throw out there that you think people need to know?
Yeah, I just would suggest that any questions that you had or concerns about anything, rather than struggle through it, just ask. I mean, it's free, and you just sign up for that hour session, and it'll be asked and answered, and then you'll know. And if you're wondering whether there are resources that you're missing, sign up and ask. I mean, you don't have to have a definite question or saying, I'm wondering if this particular program, if this is a good fit for me. You can just ask the question, because we're here to serve.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to note that this is an incredible resource, and it's an incredibly valuable resource for those of you that aren't aware. An hour of face-to-face consulting with a lawyer can often cost hundreds of dollars, 100 more plus. And so these are experts, professionals, pros that know their stuff, whose time is valuable, who they are volunteering and giving of themselves to serve you. So take advantage of this opportunity and give them an opportunity to serve you. Any other parting thoughts before I go to our fancy brand new sign-off video?
No, I just want to make sure your viewers know that this resource is there to help them. We've got additional resources on the State Bar website for finding a lawyer, hiring a lawyer. So wisbar.org/small business will get you to this particular program. And if you look at, I need to find help from a lawyer, we've got some additional resources there on the State Bar website for anyone who's looking for help from a lawyer.
Excellent. Well, thanks to both of you for everything you do and for sharing your time with us for our casual weekly office hours. I'll have both of you hang on the line here for just a minute, but I'll remind everybody, please check out the comment section. I put a Linktree link in there. Click on that, and you can be brought to a fancy, fun list of all of our social platforms that we are on. Please join us, follow us, subscribe, all that fun stuff. All of your wildest dreams come true, and make sure to will come true rather, and make sure to join us weekly every Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Central. For office hours live, where we talk about issues that are pertinent and relevant to the veteran military family and overarching Wisconsin business community. So for this week, here I am signing off, and I'm so excited. Here's our new sign off video. All right. Peace out.